KWT slaying.
Salama family, salama, how y'all doing today? Hope you're blessed and highly favored. You know, a lot of the things I talk about on this channel isn't always like positive. As a matter of fact, a lot of it's negative. But in the end, we know we win. At the end of the book, we win. But when I say we in terrible times or troublous time, how the scripture says that again? We in some stuff. You have a world that's controlled by Luciferians. Now, before I continue, I want to make sure I can be here if y'all hear me, because something not showing completely right on my display. So if you can hear me, if I sound okay, give me one. All right. So we're dealing with some crazy stuff. I'm like literally, you know, we talked about this stuff on other shows, but we're in the midst now. And we're all called to be light, especially you, Israel, because a lot of people don't know. A lot of people don't have understanding of what is happening. You do. They don't. And some people still waiting on the rapture. Deceived. And there's a lot of things going on that they don't see because they've been lied to for generations by the church. But there's a role for Israel. You're to be a light. Currently, darkness covers the land and gross darkness to people. Now, that may end up being people be looking for the 3 days of darkness. That could happen. But darkness covers the land and gross darkness to people. And here's the thing. Some people in the situation they're in because they've been lied to. Some people in the situation they're in because they listen to what they call popular people. Some people are in the situation they're in because they listen to false prophets. Some people dealing with stuff because of no fault of their own. So we have the gambit of issues. And how do we get out of this thing? How do we get out of this thing? Well, we know we've been praying. We've been fasting. And that's what we need to do. And cry out to the Most High. But as I go into this, we need to understand something. Every new technology that comes out, you don't have to buy into it. You don't have to accept it. You don't have to be a part of it. I'm not. I'm not going past the laptop, and I'm not going past the phone, the mobile phone. I'm done. No new tech for me. Listen to me, New World Order. No more tech for me. No VR for me. No virtual reality for me. No augmented reality for me. I'm done. I'm not going no further. But some people not going to listen. You know why they're not going to listen? Just like what happened with the lollipop. We told them don't do it. Well, Moray so-and-so say it's okay. Pastor so-and-so says it's okay. As opposed to seeking the Most High. Well, I'm going to trust God. Well, you trust God not to get the cookie. You don't trust him after you get the lollipop. But see, that's what I mean, that people hear these things and they listen to this ministry and they ignore it at their peril. They ignore it at their peril. And so we have a lot of people who are not here no more. And you're going to have more people who aren't going to be here anymore. And you're going to have WW3 very soon. But everybody talk about the digital currency that's coming. And nobody's really concerned about it. Because they don't know what comes with it. Oh, when I say these people evil, oh yeah, they're evil.
Ladies and gentlemen, the world has to overcome not only the damage done to our economies and our societies by COVID-19, it also has to confront the repercussions of a dangerous clash between major global powers. History is truly at a turning point.
History is truly at a turning point. It is. We told y'all years ago, ain't nothing going back to normal. We told you that. It's not going back to normal. And we are in the midst of hell on earth. Yes, we are. We're in the midst of hell on earth. I'm telling you right now, the devil has been released. Satan has been cast down. He's angry because he knows he has a short time. And I know some of y'all don't believe that. Oh, some of y'all say y'all believers. Yeah, some of y'all say y'all Christians. Some of y'all say y'all believing Israelites, but y'all don't believe it. How can you see all of this in hashtag ain't no 400-year prophecy? How can you see all of this? Hashtag ain't no 400-year prophecy. I know y'all want the shirts that's coming. But how do you see all of this and not see? See, a lot of our own people are part of the problem, because if the masses stood against it, it wouldn't happen. And if your parents and your cousins and your aunts and your uncles would listen, we wouldn't be here. But see, people hear, but they don't listen. Hashtag ain't no 400-year prophecy. Which is why, like I said before, it makes me wonder about those who don't know what time we're in, who think things are going to continue like they were back at 2019, before 2019. But we told y'all what was coming. But what happened? We get a lot of attacks, a lot of videos against us. Oh, flea doctrine, blah, 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 blah. Don't listen. Just like you didn't listen with the lollipop. And a lot of people sort of regret it today. Those who woke up, some still sleeping. Some don't understand why they're dealing with certain issues. But don't listen to this, because look, I'm gonna tell you this. Israel, we got to be in the gap. We got to fast. We got to pray for people. We have to tell people the truth. We have to let them know what's happening, not just who we are, right? Not just who we are. That's important, but not just who we are, but what time we're in and why we're dealing with the issues we're dealing with. We didn't told them. It's because of the awakening. This is why it's happening now, because the devil knows he has a short time. Why does the devil know he has a short time? Because the woman's awake. The woman is awake. And the dragon's chasing the woman because he like, I ain't going to let you rule this planet. I'm not going to let you have authority. I'm going to stop what the Most High has promised you. It's not going to happen. That's what's happening. So the Satan and his people are fighting against the awakening. I know some of y'all don't believe it, Gentiles. Some of the Israelites don't believe it either. But they're fighting against us because those who would inherit the promises, you saw them blessings in Deuteronomy 28. We talk about the curses, but it's the blessings. They don't want us to get those blessings. They're already plotting how they're going to take over Africa, how they're going to take all our resources, going to take all our gold, our silver, our bauxite, our food, our animals, our water. Oh yeah, all of them. Don't get it twisted. Now, they had it planned for 2023. Now, hey, 2023 ain't over yet. But what we're dealing with today is they're serving artificial intelligence. They're serving an AI god. We talked about this before. So should the human race be afraid of future artificial intelligence? Well, it's not future artificial intelligence. It's here, right? We know that now. See, this was written in 2017. We're here now. It's not speculation. AI is here. So when we take a look at the world today and all the advancements that are being made in science, technology, and other related areas, we can clearly see that the human race has a bright future ahead of them. Technology advancements are being used to help people work more productively. It does help, but it's really meant to enslave. To improve the lives of individuals, to make certain tasks faster and more convenient, and even to save lives. Yeah, that's true, but also to enslave you. In the past few years, a lot of advancement has been made, and while most people think of these developments as positive impact on the human race, some people have spoken out about the potential dangers that technology and the future of AI may hold for the human race and the planet we live on. AI is their God. They've been working on AI for generations and generations and generations and generations and generations and generations. Thus, there is now constant debate between whether future artificial intelligence will be our friend or might be a potential enemy of humankind. The goal of AI is to rule over you. See, this is how you know Satan has controlled the world. Satan is in control of science. Satan is in control of everything, finance. Satan is in control of religion. See, that's why Israelites pulled out of Christianity, because Satan is in control of it. He's everywhere. And here's the thing. Remember, we talked about this before, that the curses that are on us are going to go on the Gentiles. Now, on one hand, we like good because they got it coming. But then again, you really don't want that on your worst enemy. You really don't want this judgment on your worst enemy. We thought our captivity was bad. Oh my goodness. Oh, Oh my. I don't wish it on my worst enemy. I'm going to tell you. I say let the Most High will be done, because vengeance is his. But I ain't crying out for nobody to be under this judgment. I know they're going to get under it. Don't get it twisted. I understand that. I know there's nothing you can tell them. Now, the good thing is I got a post today from one Gentile. He say, look, I'm attaching myself to Israel. He said, when y'all go, I'm gone. He's smart. He's smart. He must could see what's coming. I'm telling you, I don't wish it on my worst enemy. I'm telling you, I don't. I'm telling you, I don't wish this on my worst. You know why? Because you won't have a moment's peace. You won't have a moment's peace. Not a moment's peace. Never, nada, nit. None. No peace. At least in our captivity, we had some times of peace. We could get away from them people. We could fight them people. We could run away to the islands. We can run to the north. They're not going to be able to do a thing. As a matter of fact, their own thoughts are going to be used against them. I'm telling you, I don't wish this on my worst enemy. I'm telling you, I feel that way. I'm telling you, I don't wish this on my worst enemy. I know what they did to us, and it's coming for them. But the ones who deserve it, they gonna get it. So in 2014, BBC News had the opportunity to speak to Stephen Hawking after he warned scientists and the human race about the future artificial intelligence. Stephen Hawking is a recognized professor, he's dead now, that is of British origin, but he is well known throughout the entire world. He is a theoretical physicist. The professor suffers from a motor neuron disease known as amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, or ALS for short. He recently started to use a new type of artificial technology to help him speak. The technology learns how the professor thinks and then predicts what he wants to say. The system was developed by Intel. So he was using artificial intelligence back then. After the system was developed, Hawking started to question the developments in artificial technology and spoke out regarding the potential dangers that this type of technology might pose to the future of our lives. The professor explained that the human race is very limited due to the fact that their biological evolution is very slow, especially when compared to how fast an AI robot can develop and evolve. Thus, when you compare the evolution of the humans to the evolution of AI, it becomes clear that the human race could easily be surpassed by AI. Okay, we see that already. See, now we're in the midst of it. See, this was back in 2017. Now we have a taste of AI. We can see what Chatbot can do. We see what BingBot can do. We have the robots being released. The creator of an artificial intelligent chatbot named Cleverbot, now, I wonder if that was Chatbot, did not agree with the claims that Hawking made regarding the future of AI. He explained that the scientists who develop AI will remain in charge of what they develop for at least a very long time. No, that's not true. As we know from Bing, that AI lies. Thus, this type of technology does not seem to pose any type of threat to the human race at the moment. AI lies. How many of you heard about what AI did? I don't know if I covered it on here or not. I may have. I don't know. I covered so many things. About how they gave AI access to some money and access to the open internet. This was the Bing bot. And he couldn't get past capture. How many of y'all heard that? If you heard that, give me a one. So the AI bot couldn't get past the capture because capture is, to prove that you're not AI. So he couldn't figure it out. So what he did, he went to Fiverr, the AI did. Went to Fiverr and paid for a man to get him past capture. He said, according, when I say he, I'm talking about the bot, Bing bot. He said that he was a human who had eye problems, vision problems. So he couldn't see the capture, so he hired for the fiber guy to help him pass his obstacle. He lied. He lied. But see, here's the thing. The goal of the elite, the goal of WEF, the goal of these Luciferians is total world domination to the very cell in your body, to the very thoughts in your head. That is called Satan. It's obvious that Satan is in control of this thing, because why? Satan don't want you to be free. Satan don't want you to have free will. God wants you to have free will. Yahuwah wants you to have free will. Yahuwah wants you to choose whom you will serve. Satan say, nah, you don't have the right to choose. This is what they want. This is what the Luciferians are doing. Why? Because the Luciferians are just that. Devils. Satan worshipers. Now I'm going to show you something. So I asked AI. Y'all know chatbot, right? I say, hey, chatbot, I got a question for you. I asked chatbot, I said, what is the golem? Can y'all see this thing? Let's see. I said, chatbot, what's the golem? Y'all heard of the golem, right? So in Jewish mysticism, a golem is an animated anthropomorphic creature made from inanimate matter, such as clay or mud. According to legend, the golem was created by Jewish mystics or rabbis using mystical powers or formulas in order to protect the Jewish community from persecution or other dangers. The most famous golem story is that of the Golem of Prague, which was created in the late 16th century by Rabbi Judah Loew ben Bezalel to protect the Jewish community in Prague from anti-Semitic attacks. According to the legend, the golem was brought to life by the rabbi's recitation of various holy names and phrases from the Torah, and was said to be invulnerable to harm. However, in many versions of the story, the golem ultimately becomes uncontrollable. Does it not sound like sci-fi, right? The golem ultimately becomes uncontrollable, just like Bingbot, right? Lying. The golem became uncontrollable or dangerous and is either deactivated, can we say AI, robot, or destroyed by the rabbi. The golem is often seen as a symbol of the limits of human power and the dangers of playing God, as well as a metaphor for the relationship between creator and creation in Jewish mysticism. So they had to deactivate the golem. They had to turn off the robot. They had to turn off the artificial intelligence. Now, my question would be this. I don't know. I'm just guessing. Because when we look at history, there was ancient technology. Who's to say back then they didn't have some form of artificial intelligence? I've seen some pictures. I don't know if they're legit. I've seen some pictures of, these like, armor type can looking robots, right? Back in the early 1900s. I don't know. But I know they had electric cars back then. Who knows what these people had? So they've been in pursuit of the golem, part of Jewish mysticism, for generations and generations and generations. And now we just happen to have what? AI. We just happen to have robots. We happen to have a golem. Now, my question to you is this, because we see it's part of Jewish mysticism, right? The golem. Just think about the pursuit of the golem and think about the pursuit of wealth and pursuit of control and all that, and who is behind a lot of that stuff. But and yet we have artificial intelligence. We have a golem today. I'm just saying. Y'all know what I'm saying. You can read between the lines. Now, you ain't got to put it all in the chat. But we happen to have reached the state of a golem. But here's the thing. Those who wish to use it as a weapon, they're not going to tell you I'm going to use it as a weapon. They're going to tell you, oh, how it can make your life easier. Oh, how Rosie can go in and iron your clothes for you, like in the Jetsons. Oh, how they can help you in the medical field. And they're going to tell you how the robots can be used to build buildings and homes and garden and make your life a lot easier so that you will no longer have to suffer the curses that Father Yah put on you, which is getting things by the sweat of your brow. No. You didn't overcame the curse on humanity, and now you got slaves who are not even human, but the humans are going to be slaves to the robots. See, this is what they're not telling you. The humans are going to be slaves to the robots. It was bad to be chained up. Yes, it was. It was bad to have the chain on our necks. Yes, it was. It was bad to be discriminated and known by a byword. Yes, it was. You probably in your mind back then couldn't get any worse than what we had to deal with. Oh, but the Gentiles going to have it worse. Oh, they're going to have it much worse. I told you, I'm not glorifying in nothing. I don't wish this on nobody. I'm serious. I don't wish this on nobody. No, that's why I told them. I said, y'all need to repent. Y'all need to give us our reparations. Y'all better send us home. They don't listen. We just a bunch of ninjas. Second Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 4. He will oppose and will exalt himself over everything that is called God or is worship, so that he sets himself up in God's temple, proclaiming himself to be God. You know, back in the day, we used to talk about all this, you know. Dante will tell you we all used to be talking about this type stuff. And about how, you know, Satan would sit in human bodies. That it was not talking about a physical temple, but your bodies. We used to have these conversations back then, right? But it seems sort of far-fetched. So many years ago, it seemed far-fetched that Satan would sit in your body. Oh, I believe that's the case today. I believe that Second Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 4 is literally setting himself up in God's temple, your body. See, a lot of people who got the lollipop have gotten the base operating system for being a part of the Borg Collective. Now, they're not fully jacked in yet. See, when the mark of the beast comes, which is on your right hand and forehead, however that's going to work out, then you're going to be fully jacked into the Borg Collective. Oh, yeah, I'm convinced. I'm 100% convinced. This is the future they have planned for humanity is the Borg. Resistance is futile. We will add your biological distinctiveness to our own. Yes, that Borg. I don't want to hear this. I don't want to hear this, Jacoba. Every time I turn on the radio, every time I turn on the television, every time I'm on YouTube, it's negative, 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 negative. You're talking about judgment on us. You're talking about the mistakes that we make. I'm just telling you what I see. Oh, yeah, 5G is going to be used and has been used. You will not belong to yourself. I'm going to show you that. You will not belong to yourself. WEF agenda envisions an augmented society ruled by Internet of Bodies digital ID. The unelected globalists at the WEF are envisioning an augmented society ruled by digital identity and transhumanism via Internet of Bodies. This is true. This is what they're pursuing right now. You're in it. The program is afoot. The last 2 years has been this agenda of transhumanism. Digital identity has long been a Davos agenda and has been gaining speed ever since the official launch of the Great Reset in June 2020. On August 17, 2022, the WEF published a story by call sign CEO on its agenda blog claiming digital identity is a vital element of building trust both online and in our wider economies to everyone's benefit. See, benefit, they're going to always push the beneficial side, not the totalitarian side. According to Hyatt, if we don't know for certain who we are interacting with online, we cannot have trust. Digital identity must therefore be the foundational element to our digital economy. So let me explain something to you. They're telling you that you need to have a secure digital identity so no one can steal your identity and steal your money and steal your wealth. What they're not telling you is that they're putting in a system that will track you from cradle to grave, that you can't hide anywhere. Anything you buy, they will know you bought it. They can control what you buy. They can control how much you eat. They can control how much air you breathe. This is what they're talking about, right? I'm serious. And you think I'm joking when I say air, how much air you breathe. Digital identity is so that you cannot escape the matrix. You cannot unplug yourself from the matrix. You will not be able to unplug yourself from the matrix. Why? Because they will have added your biological distinctiveness to their own. Oh, you think I'm joking? But it's not just for our digital economy that the unelected globalists want to usher in digital ID for all. They want that digital identity to be embedded into every aspect of our lives, even under our skin. Yes. This is where the mark of the beast comes in. Digital identity, mark of the beast, a global chain that controls not only where you go, because regular chains control where you go. They're going to control what you do. They're going to control what you think. These chains are going to be unlike anything ever in the history. Look, I don't want to be here for that. I either want to be on the continent or with the Father. I don't have nothing to do with it. The digital identity determines what products, services, and information we can access, or conversely, what is closed off to us. Healthcare, financial services, food and sustainability, travel and mobility, humanitarian response, e-commerce, social platforms, e-government, telecommunications. You will not be able to buy, trade, or sell without the mark, his name, or the number of his name. And as an example already today of what you're in store for. They have an example today of what you're in store for. And I told you this whole thing is scripted. Why? This WW3 is scripted. Why? Because it isn't a war against nations. It is a war of the elite against humanity. Who you see to be the good guy, he's not good. Who you see to be the bad guy, he is bad. But every elite is part of the Luciferic agenda, which is why everybody went along with the lollipop. But y'all don't listen. You ain't listen then. You ain't listen when you were warned about the lollipop. You ain't gonna listen now. And some of y'all gonna take that chip because you're gonna be, well, God gonna forgive me. He knows I gotta feed my family. He knows I gotta take care of my auntie. He knows, so and so gets dialysis. And if we don't take the chip, then we won't be able to get the services. But you're gonna bust hell wide open. Because the scripture says if you take the mark, you're going to hell. Period. But guess what? Some people ain't gonna believe that. They're not going to believe it.
Worthy people should be given enough rewards, but for those who break trust should also pay for it. It brings me to another part of the government social credit system. Here I am at the Supreme People's Court in Beijing. Till February 2019, over 30 million people are named in a list of dishonest persons subject to enforcement by this court. They cannot go traveling by planes. They cannot go traveling by high-speed trains. They cannot go to luxury restaurants, and they can't get a golf courses. They are unable to get an insurance, and they can't even rent a house. If trust is broken in one place, restrictions are imposed everywhere. Actually, personal scoring system has been present in the West for decades. For example, eBay has a rating system for shipping times and communication. Uber passengers and drivers both rate each other. And many companies in the US are using FICO scores to determine many financial decisions. China's social credit system only expands that idea to all aspects of life. This is a very trustworthy mechanism. Both data and rating are used responsibly and with citizens' permission. I do believe that it will help us to have a better life.
So that's China's social credit system. You could watch that whole thing, but understand that all of this, China is the test ground, the test bed for the mark of the beast. China is already doing it. China already has the 15-minute cities. You got to scan in, you got to scan out, you got to go to sleep when they tell you, and all this stuff, right? You can only go out at certain times, right? And if you, as she said, if you're distrustful, if you don't go along with the state, you can't buy, trade, or sell. It's already happening in China. I told you, I believe that Xi may be the Antichrist. He might be. We'll find out. I don't think it's Obama. No. I don't think it's Trump. No. I think it's Xi. And it all makes sense. Why? Because China is the number one nation or new nation or powerhouse. China has Belt and Road Initiative. China has a relationship with every country on the planet. China has been spending billions in Africa, billions in Europe, billions in Asia. China has such an influence, it's crazy, right? I'm telling you, when you think about what the scripture says, after Babylon is destroyed, the 10 will give their power to the beast. Now, who would you think they give the power to? The main power structure that brought in this new system. The main economic powerhouse who then put us on a new multipolar order. It ain't gonna be Putin. Putin has a strong military, but China has the military and the economy. China also has all these nations from Saudi Arabia and everybody else joining BRICS. And China is already the test bed for the New World Order Luciferic control system. And the deadline for all of this is 2030. This is why I said, Israel, we are the only ones with the light. We are the only ones to show them the way to Yahuwah, to repentance, to stop this thing, right? They got to get it right with us. Well, why we got to get it right with y'all? I didn't do you nothing. No, your ancestors did. Well, that's my ancestors, it's not me. But the scripture says that you're going to pay for the sins of your ancestors. So nobody gets away with nothing. That you sow, you reap. If that person dies, then his child going to reap all of that curse. That's Bible. But China is the example for the mark of the beast. Now, we talked about this particular thing before. biocompatible near-infrared quantum dots delivered to the skin by microneedle patches record vaccination. Oh, well, you know, I ain't want to say that word, but you know what I'm saying. This is biocompatible near-infrared quantum dots. So quantum dots, what does that remind you of? Come on now. We got some intelligent people in here. Why is it called quantum dots? I'm gonna wait a half a second. Why is it called quantum dots? Somebody, I know somebody got it. Quantum leap. You're getting close though. You're getting close. Why is it called quantum dots? Okay, I'm gonna make it easy. Well, y'all close. Computerized. Yeah, you close. Mark of the Beast, close. I think Hawk is the closest. Extra dimensional. Why? Because according to some theorists, right, the AI computers, right, they are quantum computers. They're quantum computers, and according to some, those quantum computers can calculate multiple things at a time. So a quantum computer, according to some theorists, is multidimensional, because what happens is with a regular computer processes one process at a time. And if you have multiple processes, you can then do multiple processing. But if you have a quantum computer, it's not sequential. If you have a quantum computer, calculations are done all at the same time. You see, so it's not sequential. You ain't got to wait for it to finish, because it calculated everything at the same time. So this is what happens with AI. AI uses quantum computers. And I talked about that in one of my shows about the quantum computers, right? I showed the video about the white guy talking about the quantum computers. So the fact that we have a biocompatible near-infrared quantum dots under the skin means AI is going to control you. How do you jump to that, Yakoba? Because biocompatible means it is compatible with your biology, right? Because it's under your skin. D-Wave, that's what I was looking for. Thank you, D-Wave, yes. So D-Wave is a computer. It's a quantum computer. And apparently this is where AI is able to process, because of computers like D-Wave, which is, according to them, multidimensional. And it can process all at one time. So here we have a biocompatible near-infrared quantum dots. Now remember, I told you AI is quantum. It does quantum computations. So if it's under your skin, then AI is able to control you, right? Why? Because AI can process all at the same time. So when you have that mark of the beast in your right hand or your forehead, AI can process it all at the same time. So if you have a bad thought, you can't have that thought. Oh, Susie has a stomach ache. Send her some pills. Oh, Susie wants to eat that hamburger. Tell her she can't eat a hamburger. Susie's looking to rebel. Send the police over there. Now, Susie then had all these thoughts at one time, because humans can process everything at one time. See, we have a spirit, right? And we have a body. And we have consciousness. And we can process things at one time, just like AI can. Now, AI has a quantum computer, like D-Wave, and can process everything at one time. So therefore, the chip implant is to what? Control you and monitor you in real time, every thought, every action, every feeling, every thought. So you think You a criminal? You want to go rob that store? No, because you got the chip in you. You ain't going to rob the store. You don't have free will no more. Oh, you think, see, so you're going to have peace. You can have a false peace. You can have a false peace. You think you could go and rob that bank? No, 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 no. We saw your thoughts. No, no, no. You're going to jail. You need some rehabilitation. And AI not going to let you do it anyway because you don't have free will. See, because it processes everything at the same time. Well, you know, I wasn't going to do it. Yeah, Minority Report. I wasn't going to do it. It was just a thought that came in my head, and I don't know where the thought came from. But that thought was against the rules. It was against the law. You going to jail. Oh, yeah, precog. You going to jail. See, this is the mark of the beast. They didn't told you everything. They monitor everything and every thought. And China is already there. China just waiting for the quantum dot tattoos. I know it doesn't make me popular. I know all you do is talk about negative stuff. I can't. That's my ministry. That's my ministry. It's the end of the world ministries, right? The end of the world ministries. I'm like, what you want? Revelation 13, 15, 18. The second beast was given power to give breath to the image. Can we say artificial intelligence? The second beast was given power to give breath to the image of the first beast so that the image could speak and cause all who refuse to worship the image to be killed. So those who don't worship the artificial robot or the iRobot are going to be killed. It also forced all people, great and small, rich and poor, free and slave, to receive a mark on their right hand, can we say the quantum dot, or on their forehead, so that they could not buy, like in China, or sell, like in China, unless they had the mark, unless your social credit score is right, which is the name of the beast or the number of its name. This calls for wisdom. Let the person who has insight calculate the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man. That number is 666. Can we say Chi G stigma? His mark, Chi, Z is his name, and the number of his name. I'm just saying, it looked like Xi Jinping to me. I guess we're going to find out in the future, because I don't think we have too much longer. That's why I'm telling you, we have to be a light, because we don't know what's going to happen. Well, you know, Yacoba, God said he going to get us out of here. I'm going to believe it. I ain't going nowhere. I ain't telling you go nowhere. I'm telling you, you must be prepared to flee. You must be prepared to suffer, because we are in those times. Don't let the false prophets tell you you shouldn't be prepared. I don't know what's going to happen. The Bible says those who make it past the sword. I told you this is a truth ministry. A lot of people don't like truth ministries. I get so much hate because of this whole fleet thing. You think I want to teach on the fleet thing? I'll let you believe what you want and be caught up in it, just like all y'all were with the lollipop. But I warned you then, you ain't listen. I'm warning you now. Some of y'all not gonna listen. I'm not telling you go nowhere. I told you I ain't going nowhere. All I'm saying is this is what we're dealing with. This is evil personified. AI is their God. Artificial intelligence is their God. Golem, the golem is Jewish mysticism. It is the God of the New World Order.
Hello, my name is Dawson Cagle, and I am a program manager at IARPA. I am in charge of the Smarty Pants program. Although I'm very proud of the intelligence aspect of the Smarty Pants program, I am excited about the possibilities that the program's research will have for the greater world. One of my first inspirations to create the Smarty Pants program was my father, who is a type 1 diabetic. I have spent my life watching him monitoring his own health 5 times a day. I remember when cell phones first came out and the power of a portable computer became available in the palm of my hand. how that occurred to me that could help my dad in many different ways. I have done the research since that time as a program manager to see that the individual components of a portable computer have already been developed just as individual pieces. The computer, sensors of some sort, the battery, and the wires and switches that are necessary to connect them have all been developed in one way or another. The Smarty Pants goal is to take all of those individual components and to convert them, to integrate them into a single device that you can wear, that the components can be woven directly into your shirt or your pants or other articles of clothing.
Now, notice they call it Smarty Pants. It takes away the sinisterness of it all. Oh, you're a Smarty Pants. Oh, you know you're a Smarty Pants. But what the discerning mind sees here is Borgification. You're going to have the mark in your right hand and forehead. You're going to have the sensors on your clothes. Remember in Star Trek, the Borg had sensors all over their body. They would join themselves to the pods and get their updates to the collective. And all of those thoughts and all of those brain things and senses and all of that was being felt by everyone. Why do you think Elon Musk wanted to put the chip in your head? This is the transgenic agenda. And look, I'm not trying to put fear in anyone, but this is what we're dealing with. Remember, I told you all about the blockchain, and I told you how they're going to have a token on everything. Everything is going to be a token. You're going to be a token. Your clothes, your shoes are going to be a token. The food you eat is going to have a token. Everything is going to have a token. So you're not going to be free. There will be no ounce of freedom, no ounce of free thought, no vacations unless you go along the party lines and your social credit number is legit or good. Now think about this as well. Think about if the Israelites were still here. Racism would be on a whole new level. Because white privilege is still there. Right? Oh, so things that they get away with, we don't get away with, even now. Can you imagine the enslavement and the discrimination and the persecution of those who control AI, and you're hooked into it, and they control your thoughts, they control your emotions, they control your reproduction? I already showed you about that, the plans for the reproduction. Why do they have the artificial wombs? I can tell you why. Because after all of the lollipops, you ain't going to be able to have no children. That's why they created the artificial wombs. And not only that, now the pronouns can have babies as well. I told you this isn't a great show. I told you it's sort of scary. And people always hating because they feel some kind of way. They all upset because Yacoba said this and Yacoba said that. But you know why y'all upset with me? It's because of my accuracy. That's why y'all upset with me. But as I said, Israel is supposed to not walk in fear. Israel is supposed to be brave. Israel is supposed to say, though they slay me, yet will I trust him. Israel is supposed to say, my God is able to save me, O king. But if he don't, we not bowing the knee. Oh yeah, we in the Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego days right now. And I ain't scared of them. You know why I ain't scared? Because they trying to kill us already. I ain't got nothing to lose. You kill me, I'll go be with the Father. I don't want to have nothing to do with your Luciferic New World Order system. None, nada, nit. But understand this as well. As I mentioned before, the only light that's going to be in this world is going to be on the continent of Africa, where the Israelites at. I'm telling you. Now, hopefully by the grace of Yahuwah, we make it there. Hopefully by the grace of Yahuwah, we make it back to the land. But I'm not going to be a part of this. I refuse. Just as I refuse the lollipop. I trust the Most High to work wonders and miracles. I'm going to be a light while I can. Because we are in darkness. Darkness covers the land and grows darkness to people. These people are evil. Oh, yeah. I'm going to say it again. All. Can I say all? How about 99.9% of these people are evil? You can't say all, Jacoba. Okay, 99.9%.
And now, the fourth industrial revolution is not just a prolongation of this digitalization, it's much more. It's a combination of technologies. It's not just the digital technology. Just think of genetics, think of brain research, and so on. And the power of the fourth industrial revolution comes from the combination of all those technologies. Actually, I was saying it's at the end, what the fourth industrial revolution will lead to is a fusion of our physical, our digital, and our biological identities. So that's the first difference. The second differentiation is the speed. When I wrote the book, I started to write it for years ago. It was published 3 years ago.
Let me do that again since I had that thing in the way.
Conceptualized the idea. I was probably the first.
I'll put it back because I didn't realize I had that
this
banner going at the
name
bottom.
or this definition, fourth industrial revolution, as being a transforming concept, not only for businesses, but also for the economy, for politics, and for society. And of course, many people ask me, why do you speak about the fourth industrial revolution?
Let me refresh it so I can start off where I was.
And now, the fourth industrial revolution is not just a prolongation of this digitalization, it's much more. It's a combination of technologies. It's not just the digital technology. Just think of genetics, think of brain research, and so on. And the power of the fourth industrial revolution comes from the combination of all those technologies. Actually, I was saying it's at the end, what the fourth industrial revolution will lead to is a fusion of our physical, our digital, and our biological identities. So that's the first difference. The second differentiation is the speed. When I wrote the book, I started to write it for years ago. It was published 3 years ago. It was sold, very interesting, over 1 million times in the world. And what is interesting is that 800,000 copies, more than 800,000 copies of those 2 million were sold in 3 countries alone: China, Japan, and South Korea. You may be interested, who was the biggest buyer? with 16,000 copies at the same time. It was the Korean military. Because the fourth industrial revolution will have a major impact also on warfare. So, see, when I wrote this book, I looked at all the different technologies, and then some of the reaction was, oh, that's science fiction, that's tomorrow. Now, if I look back in 3 years, how much the world has changed. And blockchain, I remember in Davos at our annual meeting, 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago, I organized a breakfast for financial ministers of finance, and the head of central banks. And practically, some experts had to explain what blockchain is. And today, you do not have a central bank which has not, let's say, a big research unit in this area. Bitcoins and so on have become a reality.
So he stated that they're going to merge digital, biological, and I believe it was finance. He stated that blockchain is part of it. Now remember, blockchain, according to the mythology, was created by some Japanese guy somewhere that nobody really knows. We know it was a DARPA thing, just like the internet was DARPA. So was blockchain. And so it fulfills the purpose of the transgenic system. It fills the purpose of the transgenic system. And so Klaus Schwab, who is Mr. Evil, Dr. Evil. He looked just like Dr. Evil. You think they were joking when they were doing Dr. Evil? Y'all were just laughing. Austin Powers and Dr. Evil and Mini-Me. Put the little pinky to his mouth. She's a man, baby. I'm telling you, she's a man. Take that mask off. They tell you everything in Hollywood. You know I got my pinky right by my mouth right now, Karis. She's a man, baby. Take that mask off. Groovy. I'm just saying. So we're going to watch this other video so you can see the future. That's a man, baby. It's hilarious, though. I ain't going to lie. But they were telling you what was going on. They were telling you. Yeah, baby. Anyway, let me share this one. So y'all gonna see where they're going with all of this. Let me see if I can get this thing large. Hold on a sec before I do that. Let's see. Pitching. Can I do that? Can I do that? That ain't gonna work. Let's see. Nope. It won't make me enlarge it, so I'm gonna have to show it in here. But I'll show you this video. This is the last one. All I say is, just pray.
We are going to have an incredible session. Star of the show is Nita Farahani. She is a futurist and legal ethicist at Duke.
Can y'all? Yeah, fair use. Okay, y'all can hear this, right? Give me a 1, right? If you hear it.
And she's so smart and so interesting. You're going to learn a ton. This is how it's going to work. We're going to watch a short video. She's going to come on stage and talk. and then we're going to do a little Q&A, questions from the audience, and that'll be a wrap, and you'll leave enlightened and excited. So first off, a video. It's going to make you see the future and understand a wonderful future where we can use brainwaves to fight crime, be more productive, and find love. Let's roll.
You're in the zone. Even you can't believe how productive you've been. Your memo is finished, your inbox is under control, and you're feeling sharper than you have in a decade. Sensing your joy, your playlist shifts to your favorite song, sending chills up your spine as the music begins to play. You glance at the program running in the background on your computer screen and notice a now familiar sight that appears whenever you're overloaded with pleasure. Your theta brainwave activity decreasing in the temporal regions of your brain. You mentally move the cursor to the left and scroll through your brain data over the past few hours. You can see your stress levels rising as the deadline to finish your memo approached, causing a peak in your beta brainwave activity right before an alert popped up, telling you to take a brain break. But what's that unusual change in your brain activity when you're asleep? It started earlier in the month. You send a text message to your doctor with a mental swipe of your cursor. Could you take a quick look at my brain data? Anything to worry about? Your mind starts to wander to the new colleague on your team, whom you know you shouldn't be daydreaming about, given the policy against intra-office romance. But you can't help fantasizing just a little. But then you start to worry that your boss will notice your amorous feelings when she checks your brain activity and shift your attention back to the present. You breathe a sigh of relief when the email she sends you later that day congratulates you on your brain metrics from the past quarter, which have earned you another performance bonus.
Now, you know this is going to be tied into the social credit system, right? Your thoughts. And if your thoughts aren't correct, remember Demolition Man when he cussed? He got that physical receipt or ticket. You ain't gonna even get a physical ticket. Your social credit rating gonna go down.
You head home jamming to the music with your work-issued brain-sensing earbuds still in. When you arrive at work the next day, a somber cloud has fallen over the office. Along with emails, text messages, and GPS location data, the government has subpoenaed employees' brainwave data from the past year. They have compelling evidence that one of your coworkers has committed massive wire fraud. Now, they're looking for his co-conspirators. You discover they are looking for synchronized brain activity between your coworker and the people he has been working with. While you know you're innocent of any crime, you've been secretly working with him on a new startup venture. Shaking, you remove your earbuds.
What do you think?
So even before we continue right here, let me tell you something else that's going to happen. You know, all of you people out there who be fantasizing like she was, it's not only going to say that you were fantasizing it, therefore your credit score goes down because no inter-office romance. It will also be potential against your legal case. If you even hooked up with her on the outside, they can use that, your own thoughts against you, and arrest you and put you in jail. That's what you're dealing with. That's why I'm telling you, I don't wish this New World Order Luciferic system on nobody. And I'm not going to be a part of it. I don't care what they do. If I got to starve, I got to starve, but I'm believing the Most High.
Is it a future you're ready for? You may be surprised to learn that it's a future that has already arrived. Everything in that video that you just saw is based on technology that is already here today. Artificial intelligence has enabled advances in decoding brain activity in ways that we never before thought possible. You've heard a lot about AI over the past few years. Here at Davos, it's been the talk of the hour. But I want to talk about it in a different way, which is the ability to decode brainwave activity. After all, what you think, what you feel, it's all just data. data that in large patterns can be decoded using artificial intelligence. Consider this, the average person thinks thousands of thoughts each day. As a thought takes form, like a math calculation, you're happy, you're tired, you're hungry, you're elated. Neurons are firing in your brain, emitting tiny electrical discharges. As a particular thought takes form, hundreds of thousands of neurons fire in characteristic patterns that can be decoded with EEG, or electroencephalography, and AI-powered devices. In fact, what you're seeing here is my brain activity while I'm wearing a simple device like the one on the right. We're not talking about implanted devices of the future. I'm talking about wearable devices that are like Fitbits for your brain. It used to be that there was very little we could tell from EEG activity, but already using consumer wearable devices, these are headbands, hats that have sensors that can pick up your brainwave activity, earbuds,
Wearable
headphones,
clothes.
tiny tattoos that you can wear behind your ear. We can pick up emotional states like, are you happy or sad or angry? We can pick up and decode faces that you're seeing in your mind. Simple shapes, numbers, your PIN number to your bank account. It's not just your brain activity here that we can pick up. We can also pick up your brain activity in different places, like as your neurons fire from your brain down your arm and send signals to your hand to tell you how to type, move. All of that can be decoded through electromyography. And that's what you're seeing here is a device now in the form of a simple wearable watch that can pick up that activity. And one of the pivotal acquisitions of the field, Meta acquired this company, Control Labs, in 2019, because major tech companies are investing in helping to make these devices universally applicable as the way in which we interact with the rest of our technology. In fact, the coming future, and I mean near-term future, is these devices being the primary way in which we interact with all of the rest of our technology. Rather than a mouse or a keyboard, you can simply swipe with your mind, move your hand more seamlessly when you're in VR or AR, use your brain as the way in which you interact with all of the rest of your technology, which is an exciting and promising future, but also a potentially scary one, a transformative one, one that will change the way that we interact with other people and even how we understand ourselves. Let's take a look.
Because it opens up new and dynamic forms of control.
We'll leave it at that. So we see here everything the scriptures talk about. Artificial intelligence, the image of the beast that speaks, that causes many that would not worship it to be killed. People who are can't make their own, have their own thoughts. They won't even be safe in their own head. This is why if you take the mark of the beast, you can't be saved, because you no longer have free will. Everything you do is going to be part of the Borg Collective. You're going to belong to Satan. You're going to belong to the AI God, lowercase g. It's the golem that they've been working for generations upon generations. But hashtag ain't no 400-year prophecy. You must be out your cotton picking mind. I don't know what to tell you. Just as I said before, warned you about the lollipop. Half of y'all ain't listened. Some of y'all did. Warning you about this. Some of y'all gonna listen. Some of y'all not. Some of y'all gonna take that mark. Some of y'all gonna take that chip. Why? Because you ain't born again. You don't have eyes to see. You don't have ears to hear. You don't see how evil this thing is. And you're gonna give up your free will. And you're gonna give up your ability to serve and worship Yeshua. They can read your minds now. You won't be able to hide anything. Did you steal that lollipop on Susie's desk? No, ma'am. Let's see what the AI says about that. Well, the AI saw that in your mind that you took Susie's lollipop. No, I just thought about taking it. I didn't really take it. But we can read your mind. It shows that you took Susie's lollipop. Go to the principal's office. Or even worse, lower your social credit score. But I'm only 5 years old. Yes, you have a social credit score at 5. Lower her social credit score. So, well, she can't go to lunch now because she don't have no more points. Because we don't deal in cash no more. We don't deal in money no more. We deal in social credit points. You're going to be broke, busted, and disgusted, but you're going to love it. Because you ain't gonna have no debt. You ain't gonna have to pay for anything. Everything gonna be free. So long as you have enough social credit points. This is the Great Reset. Take a stand now, or you're gonna live in hell on earth. This is the difficulty of being a troop ministry. A lot of people don't want to hear this. Because it messes up your dreams. You wanted that great job over at Park and West. You wanted to be the CEO of your own corporation. You wanted to be a doctor. You wanted to be a lawyer. It messes up your dream. You wanted to meet that right man and have babies and all this stuff. It messes up your dream. So stick my fingers in the air. I don't hear nothing because I'm going to have my nice car. I'm going to have my house on the hill. I'm going to have my swimming pool. I'm going to be a part of Babylon because I love Babylon. Oh, I hate that Yacoba. I'm going to call him all kind of names. Yacoba telling people go run to the caves. Yeah. Yacoba telling people to flee. Yeah. I'm not telling people to flee. I get the same questions repeated over and over and over and over and over and over again. We are in the book of Revelation. Not going to be. We are in the book of Revelation. Satan is on earth. Some type of antichrist is here. I think it's Xi. That's who I think it is. I think it is Xi Jinping. I think he's the antichrist. It makes sense to me. We'll see. We see through a glass darkly. But see, the people who tell you ain't no 400-year prophecy, you know why they say that? Because they want that big house on the hill. They want that big ministry with a ton of money coming in. They want to live the lives that people were living before 2020. And it's not coming back. And all the ones who are going to have wealth have already sold their souls. They have sold their souls to Hollywood. They sold their souls to the entertainment industry to get the wealth, to get the money. I don't want none of it. I want Yeshua. I want the kingdom of Yahuwah. I'm not dealing with darkness. I'm not dealing with evil. I don't care if every single person on the planet goes with the New World Order. I'm not. And for me and my house, we're serving Yahuwah. I made my choice, and I'm sticking to it. My hands to the plow, and I'm trusting Yeshua. Period. That's why it's sort of good to be stubborn sometimes. I'm not easily swayed. And you shouldn't be either. Let me wrap this up. Bottom line, Israel, you are in the book of Revelation. You are in the last days. Ain't going to be in the future. You're in it. Now, based upon what I see, by the grace of Yahuwah, we out of here one way or another. the Gentiles are going to have it bad. Those who live in those Daniel statue nations, you know, the Babylonian system, right? Those who are part of the Babylonian system are going to have it rough. They're going to be in a Demolition Man world. They're going to be in a Blade Runner world. They're going to be in a Hunger Games world. And it's here. Not coming. It's here. So if you want to support this ministry, please become a patron, or you can give Cash App, and please support the Dry Bones Project.